Good day, ma'am. I am Roger VP Adante, and I will be presenting my practical examination. For our practical exam, we are asked to create a VI that monitors the temperature of a device. If the temperature is between 28 to 34, it should be no warning. If it is 28 below, it should output temperature is too low. And if it is exceeding the maximum, the temperature is too hot. Then later on, we will create a test stand. And with that, we will have a numeric limit test and a pass or fail test. So let's start first with the VI. This is my block diagram that I have created. I used a sub VI, which is provided by my professor. This is a thermometer demo VI. So it is this one. I copied the folder from the provided LabVIEW files. This block is just an indicator of what the temperature or the randomly generated temperature is. And then I have two blocks to prompt the user to enter a maximum and minimum temperature. In this case, I have set 34 and 28 as the maximum and minimum temperatures respectively, since it is based from the instructions. Now, I used a case structure wherein there is a true or false case. Let's start with the false case. Let's say the user wants to change the maximum and the minimum temperature. If the user accidentally puts a maximum temperature less than the minimum temperature, wherein this will be false, is the maximum temperature greater than the minimum temperature. If it is false, this false case structure will run, wherein it will output a string constant saying the maximum temperature is less than the minimum temperature. However, if it is true, saying the input of the maximum and minimum temperature is true, so our VI, this true case will run, wherein I divide this from the top side and the lower side. From the top side, I have a greater than, and for the lower side, I have a less than. The top side simply compares the generated temperature to the maximum temperature. And if the temperature value is greater than the maximum temperature, if it is true, it will output temperature is too hot. Then I used a Boolean LED. It will light up if it is too hot. Then if it is not too hot, if the temperature value is less than the maximum temperature, it will also be evaluated on the other side, on the lower side, wherein the temperature value is compared to the minimum temperature. Is the temperature value less than the minimum temperature? If it is less than the minimum temperature, wherein it is true, it will output temperature is too low. However, if it is not too low, wherein it is greater than, it will take the false side. The logic here is that if the temperature is too hot, then of course, it is impossible now to have a temperature value to be lower than the minimum temperature since it is already evaluated as too hot. There will be a temperature warning if there is a too hot or too low temperature reading. It will have a no warning value if there is a no warning reading. I have used Boolean LED indicators wherein it will light up if the temperature is normal if there is no warning on both sides. If it is too low, if there is a warning here on the temperature too low, and if it is too hot, this will light up. Looking at my front panel and running it, let's see, it generated a value of 34.6, which is greater than the maximum temperature. So it outputs too hot and there is a warning. The temp is too hot, LED lights up. So let's try other values. here. Now it generated 33.6, which is in between the 28 and 34 range. Our warning text, there is no warning, and our temperature warning, there is also no warning, and our temp is normal boolean lights up. So that is basically it. If it generates a value lower than 28, there will be a warning. The warning text will be the temperature is too low, and the temperature is too low, LED will light up. So now moving to my test stand. This is my test stand. I mean my sequence file that I have created. I have included a greeting, which is just a message pop-up saying that I am Roger V and this is my practical exam. And I put an ending wherein it says, thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day po. Next is we are asked to numeric limit test to determine the minimum and maximum values that I have set and to create a pass or fail test to check if there is a warning. Okay, so this is my numeric limit test and a pass or fail test. So for the temperature test, this is the VI path or the code module that I have used, the VI that I have created. For the first step, the temperature test, the temperature value is, I set it to numeric and the warning text as report text, wherein as we execute this sequence, we will see a numeric value for the generated temperature value and the report for the warning text, whether it is too hot, no warning, or it is too low. The limits that I have set is 28 and 34 for high and low, which is the minimum and maximum. These maximum and minimum temperatures are default. Now moving to the warning verification. This is only a pass or fail, wherein I only put a value on the temperature warning, the boolean, wherein it will only output pass or fail. It will pass if there is no warnings or the temperatures are all good, and it will fail if there is a warning. So let's execute the program, single pass. See, this is the greetings, the message pop up saying I am Roger VP Adante. Now the first VI, the second VI, first and second step, and then the ending saying I have, thank you, ma'am. As we can see earlier, the values of the first and second VI are the same, which is 31.088. 31.088 is in between 28 and 34. That is why the test passes, while the report text has no warning. And then next one is the warning verification. The VI passes since there is no warning. And that is basically it. So overall, my test passes because it is in between the range. There is no warning. That is why the warning verification passes. So trying another value, 34.1. The test fails because since the value is 34 point something, the test fails, and the temperature is, and the report is the temperature is too hot. Since there is a report, there is a warning, the test fails. So if the measurement or the generated value is less than 28, this will output temperature is too low, and since it is a warning, the warning verification will fail. So that's all. Thank you, ma'am.